All right, so what are we doing today on the 64 Mercury Comet? Well, we're going to try to put this radiator in this car to replace that radiator. There's a couple of problems with it. So let's get in here and show you what we're trying to figure out. All right, so I am not unfamiliar with having tight spaces to work with when we did the 327S10 swap. Problem with this setup that I have here is I'm adapting and using electric fans where this thing never had electric fans. It was a simple mechanical straight fan, right direct drive right off the front of the water pump, and I've eliminated that and don't want to go back to using it. The aluminum radiator that I have is a stock replacement for 64, 65 Mercury Comets. I acquired this radiator from a friend at work. Cost me buying lunch. So I'm into it for cheap, but I got to try to figure out how to make it work. One problem we did not pay attention to with this radiator is that it has no provision for an automatic transmission. It has no transmission cooler on it. The car it came out of was a 4-speed car, standard. So it didn't need the transmission cooler lines. And we didn't even think about that when we were talking about using this radiator. But I have an external transmission cooler. The problem that I have is the packaging and trying to get all of these 2 electric fans, an add-on transmission cooler, and all that to work and play real nice with the space that I have available to me. So that's what we're going to get into today. We're going to figure this out. This, like I said, this is not something that is unknown to me. I have done this before. It's a matter of just taking your time, working with the space you've got, and maybe a trim here or a tuck there. And the cooler may not sit directly over the radiator like I want. I may end up hanging over a little bit to one side, but I think it's going to be okay. So I've got to get out my slide rule, and we're going to get in here and start working to get this original radiator out. So, I think it would be fair to mention what's going on and why. Let's do that too. Let's mention why we're even doing this. This setup works at 50 miles an hour and below. If you're trying to run on the highway, say you're trying to run 65 and 60 when the temperatures are 95 degrees outside, this radiator does not want to keep it cool. It starts to creep up, and then you get into the around 210, 215, maybe approaching 220 on your temperature range driving down the interstate. And then when you get stuck in traffic and then you try to parade, the heat has gained so much that it has a hard time cooling itself back down. Yesterday, we put this car in a car show. It was cool early morning, but even sitting in traffic yesterday morning in a parade situation, we paraded. It took about an hour. It never got over 190, 195 the whole time. So as far as parade situation, this setup is actually functioning, but it will not function going down the interstate. And I have about a 3-hour drive to drive this car to the coast for cruising the coast. So I need to make sure that this car works in both situations. So that's what we're going to get into. All right, well, we got the radiator out. Everything's disassembled. We got it tore apart. Nothing left in here. And we've been doing a little looking and sizing and figuring out where things are going to go. That is what I was talking about with the cooler, maybe a little bit overhung of the radiator, but that's fine. That's an oversized cooler anyway, so it's not going to matter that much. So that's what I'm thinking right there. So we're fixing to try to install this radiator and figure out how to get the fans connected and all of that. So yeah, going from that to that. All right, well, here is the concoction that I came up with. This is an oversized transmission cooler that is slightly offset mounted to the back side of the radiator, so we'll get some benefit of the air from the pusher fan on that side and air going down the road. I have the puller fan mounted over there, and yeah, I've still got a few of these mounting sprigs that I got to cut off, but I have to take the puller fan out so that I can actually put the package in the vehicle with the fan on. It is too close to the water pump and I can't actually fit it in there. So I will put the radiator in and leave the sprig sticking out, and then I will mount that fan after I have the radiator installed. This side's probably going to be a little tight, and for the mounting holes, I don't know if you can tell it or not, but the holes, this thing has been mounted, somebody had raised it up in whatever mount they had before, about 1 inch, and as it works out in my application, I need to mount it about 1 inch higher too, but they had not re-drilled the bottom holes. So I re-drilled the bottom holes to match the top holes for a raised, probably 1 inch mount. And I did check to make sure that the hood would close. Looks like that's going to be fine. So we're fixing to drop it in the vehicle and try to bolt it up and see what happens. All right, well, we've got it all put back together, and we actually took it down the road. It did good. It on under 50 miles an hour. It stayed about 185. Took it out on the interstate, and we ran it up around 65, and she came up to around 190, somewhere in there, and stayed there, maybe just a shade above 190, and took it about 20 miles south on the interstate, and then turned around and came back and ran it a little harder coming back. Ran probably 70, 72 coming back, and it crept up a little bit, but it wasn't crazy. It was like 195, 196, something like that. It did okay. I still got the fans wired to where when they come on, they stay on. They're on all the time. I'm going to eventually have to get a new fan controller. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get this one warranted. I mean, I may mess around with it a little more to see if it's if I can get it to work correctly. But I'm going to have an override switch on the dash. If I ever do try to get it to go back to operate off of temperature alone, I'm going to have an emergency fail-safe switch so I can just flip it on and have them on. So well, let me bring you in here, let you kind of get a look at what the final product looks like. It's a tight package. There's not much room. I'm not thrilled with the transmission cooler, how I had to mount it, but I was working with what I had on hand. I had this cooler. It was given to me a long time ago. This cooler is for a much larger transmission, so it should do an excellent job of keeping the temperatures down in this transmission. And the other added benefit of having the external transmission cooler set up like this is there should be less heat gain into the coolant. Since the cooler is not trying to dissipate the heat in the engine coolant, that'll be less that the coolant has to do to keep the engine cooler. So let's bring you in here, let you look. So there it is, and like I said, there is the cooler. It is mounted on this side so that it will get benefit of the fan that I have on there, and be able to push air through there and help keep the transmission cool. The small fan, puller fan I had over there, I actually moved it over to one side, so instead of it being center, it's just off to one side. This fan out here was just a little bit too tall, and I actually had to take and shave part of the bottom of it off just a little bit. Some of those, see, like those right there, those knobs, I had to, but they're on the bottom side, and just had to make it to where it would fit into the footprint of the core itself. But I don't have any leaks. I don't have any, don't see any problems with what I've got going here. So I've got to tidy up some of this electrical. I still, you know, my work seems to never be done. Always doing something new, trying to make it better. And I think we actually accomplished that. The other added benefit of having that pretty aluminum radiator in there is when it cools off, I'll be able to take some polish and go ahead and make that shiny. So I guess I am going to take a few minutes here and get back on the buffing wheel and start buffing it out. So while I'm attempting to make this thing shine and be prettier to look at, why don't you go out and watch another video coming on the screen right now.